Okay, hello YouTube. I will now start this Final Cut Pro tutorial. Okay, let's start about talking the importance of being organized. I believe that it's really important to be organized because when you're working on really huge projects, it really helps out to be organized later on. Okay, so I will show you how I set up my projects. This is just the way how I do. This is just the way I do it, and you guys could do it in any way you want. But I think this is a pretty practical and good way to set up your projects. Okay, inside this tutorial project folder, I have two folders. I have the project folder. This is where I keep my projects, and then I have the media folder. This is where I keep my Scratch media. So I select the media folder as my Scratch folder. That means that this is where all the footage that I digitized ends up. And then I have the project folder. Inside here I keep my projects. And as you can see, I have here a template for projects. Inside this project template folder, this is a pretty good way to do it because this way all you have to do is just create a structure for your projects, keep it really organized, and you only have to do it once. So it's really good to create a template. That way, whenever you start a new project, all you have to do is just duplicate this template, rename it, and boom, you have a new project. And it's all set up with everything organized and finished, right? And inside my template, I have a folder for audio, and this is where I keep my audio effects, music, offline audio, online audio, etc. I have a folder for documents. This is where I keep documents from the producer, director, the client, etc. Like emails and stuff like that. And inside my DVD folder, this is where I keep all my finished DVD masters, the final video TS folders. And then I have the export folder. This is where I keep all my exports from Final Cut Pro, my AVIs, DVs, EDL files, and etc. And as you can see here, I have all kinds of different export formats. Then I have my graphics folder, and this is where I keep all my graphic files. And that can be graphic files from a graphics company, or from a graphic design company, or from the agency, from the ad agency, and etc. And then I have my others folder. This is where I keep other stuff, just random other stuff. And then I have my post render folder, and this is where I keep my my finished rendered files from other applications such as Shake, After Effects, Combustion, etc. If you're doing visual effects shots in other applications, then I render out the final comps into this folder, into these folders. And you might also be working someday. You might be working with other companies, with visual effects companies, or that are doing comp shots for your sequence. Then this is where I keep those kinds of shots. And then I have my project files folder, and this is where I keep all my project files. And as you can see here, I have folders for After Effects, Combustion, DVD Studio Pro, Final Cut Pro, and Shake. And inside the Final Cut Pro folder, you can see here that I have a template for a Final Cut Pro project. And this project is all set up with my preferred project file, my preferred project bin structure that I like to use. And it's all set up, so it's really good because all I have to do is just duplicate this template, and I'm good to go, and I got my Final Cut Pro project ready, and I can just, all I have to do is just start digitizing or just start importing stuff, and I can work right away. And everything is kept organized so that I know exactly where everything is, and it doesn't end up becoming a big mess of files and stuff. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's start by familiarizing ourselves with the interface. Okay, the first roll pop-up window. This is where you can see your About Final Cut Pro. This is where you can set your user preferences and your system settings, audio setup, audio video settings. Then you have your file. This you can create new projects, open recent projects, save your project, import and export files, initiate the login capture and login transfer modes to capture and digitize media from an external video deck. This is where you can edit your the edit. Looks like almost any other application. This is where you do your undo's, redo's, your copy, paste, and etc. Then you have your view, where you can set your turn audio scrubbing on and off, turn snapping on and off, turn your video card on and off, and set your settings for your video card and etc. Then you have the mark, where you can set your mark in and out points in your viewer, or your in and out points in your when you're digitizing using the login transfer or login capture modes. Then you have your modify, where you can label clips and rename clips and etc. Then you have your sequence, where you can edit your sequence settings. Then you have your effects window, where you can access your video filters and your audio filters and all that stuff. Then you have your tools window, where you can access different kinds of tools like the audio mixer, the video scopes, and etc. Then you have your window pop-up, where you can create your own custom window layouts. It's really easy. All you have to do is just move around your windows like so, and then go in here, save window layout, and let's call this one stupid window layout. Cool, right? And all just do, just save it, and it's done. And now whenever you want to access your stupid window layout, there you have it. Let's go back to standard, show you how that works. So now it's all set up to standard, and if I want to access my stupid window layout, it goes to stupid window layout. It's pretty easy. And this is really nice if you're working with multiple screens, and you might want to set up your windows in a different way, or if you have a bigger screen and a smaller screen, then you might want to put your bins in the smaller screen, and you might want to have your viewer and canvas in your larger window and in your larger screen. Yeah, but it's pretty useful tool. Okay, let's go back to standard settings. Okay, now let's have a quick look at the interface. Here we have the browser window. In the browser window, I can access my effects in the effects tab, and it's the same thing as accessing your effects getting access to your effects through the effect pop-up window. It's the same thing, but here you can access them here, as you can see. Alright, and then in my project tab, this is where I have all my bins, and I have a bin for audio, graphic, material, other, render, and timeline. Inside the audio, I have all my audio files. This is where I have all my graphic files, my footage, other stuff, my rendered shots from visual effect comps and stuff. And then I have my timeline folder. This is where I keep all my timeline sequences, and this is a pretty